Hi everybody, welcome to Zero Organics channel. My name is Tunane. I'm the brand owner and founder of Zero Organics, where I sell cosmetics, candles, also teach you DIY cosmetics on this channel. Hello, welcome. Today's video will be the continuation of my previous video where I showed you how to do a DIY 10% vitamin C. Today we're going to make that to 15% vitamin C and also add some caffeine to give that nice caffeine boost to your skin, brighten up, also get rid of that puffiness from the skin. So it's a very nice formula. I've seen this product, there's some similar product actually advertised by a brand that I like it, so I had a look and I wanted to give it a go. I actually developed two versions of this one formula, one with an emulsifier, one without an emulsifier. Even though you have water and oil, you'll think that, oh, it has to be an emulsifier. There's a trick that actually I use where I'm going to show you how to actually get away without using an emulsifier. Also, if you stay all the way to the end, I'm going to show you how to edit the formula and show you the structure. So if you want to add your own ingredients or maybe change some things, you will be able to do it. So stay tuned all the way to the end and I'm going to show you how to do it. Anyway, without further ado, let's start these two versions of this 15% vitamin C serum. Okay, so before I actually start showing you the whole formulation, I just want to show you these two tests that I've been doing it. So this one is without an emulsifier, this one with an emulsifier. So as you can see, this is a little bit more creamy, so it's not like that thin, but it's quite nice and it has a beautiful texture. So as you can see, it's really more creamy texture, and then if you sprayed it, there's no white cast and it disappears in your hand. It's a very nice cushiony texture to it, and the feeling is really nourishing. This one is without an emulsifier, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit, but I just want to show you this is more liquidy and is very thin and actually feels more, you know, it doesn't have that creaminess, but it still have that watery thing. So it really depends what kind of texture do you want to do, but both of them are actually quite good. I've been testing them for a week, and as you can see, there's no separation in both of them. This one is a bit more liquidy, this one is a little bit creamy, but both are actually viable option. It actually depends how you want to make the formula yourself. If you want to use emulsifier, if you don't want to use emulsifier, and also how do you like the texture, if you like watery or if you like cushiony feeling. So it's really depends on your choice, but both are cold processable, very nice formulas, and I'm going to show them. As usual, you can find the formulation on the screen. This is for version 1 with the emulsifier. So because it's a cold process formula, it doesn't matter what you add in the beginning or at the end. It's just because you don't need to heat anything, so it's very flexible in the formulation. So we're going to start with actually slurrying the gum. I'm going to add some xanthan gum and also the glycerine and make a slurry. I'm adding clear xanthan gum. So next add 5 grams of glycerine. Okay, and let's mix this now to make it. Okay, we're going with the lemon vitamin C theme. So I'm adding 20 grams of lemon water. This is the lemon water. Lemon fruit water basically. So, and next I'm going to add 48 grams of water. Okay, so now everything is, see, it's getting clear already because the xanthan gum is quite clear. I'm also going to add one of the vitamin C. So this is it's 0 ethyl ascorbic acid. So I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so it's 30. This is the derivative stable version of vitamin C. It's easily obtainable. I got it from Olexmo Cosmetics. I'm not sponsored. This is where I got it, but you can also, I'm going to put a couple of links where you can get it. You can get it in small amounts. I just got it 50 grams. So I'm adding 5 grams of this. So I'm going to add 2 grams of green tea extract, so it's going with the caffeine. The other thing that we need to add is caffeine powder. This is the caffeine, and I'm going to add 2 grams of caffeine. Okay, so now let's mix all of this. Okay, so it just looks clumpy from here, but it's okay. We're going to homogenize this in a bit. Let's add the oily part now. So in the oily part, we're going to start adding with the emulsifier. So this is the emulsifier that I'm going to use. So it's called Imwitor 375. It's glyceryl citrate lactate linoleic oleate. I'm going to put this in the description as well. You can copy paste this in key. It might be sold with something else, it's a different name. It's either Imwitor 75 or it's this. So it's very easy. It's a it's a sunflower base. It's a natural emulsifier. It's hot and cold process. You don't use much. It's relatively cheap. It's not an expensive one, and it's also makes really soft texture, very like from light sprays to thick if you want to add it, but it doesn't have a thickening effect, so it's not a waxy emulsifier. So, but it just generates really beautiful textures. I like using it, and it's cold processable as well, so it's really very easy, very forgiving emulsifier basically. So I'm gonna use 3 grams of Imwitor. So as you can see, it looks like honey. Don't need much, just a little bit, around 3 grams. Okay, so next I'm going to add my Ascorbyl Tetraisoplamitate. This is the oil soluble vitamin C, which I used in the previous video. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it, the link up here. So we're gonna add 10 grams of this. Also adding some green coffee oil. This is also goes with the caffeine theme, so it's a green coffee oil. I'm gonna add my vitamin E, around 1 gram, just to keep it from oxidization. That's it. Just dispersed in vitro. Okay, so now comes the part of, it doesn't matter what you do, like you can put the water into here or water, it really doesn't depend, because we're gonna homogenize it. I'm gonna add the oily part into the water. You can see it looks quite like an oil and water. It looks like a really funny mix, as you can see from here as well. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it looks really funny mix. But let's watch what the homogenizer is going to do now. Okay, so after the homogenization, as you can see, it's become a nice white clear fluid. What I'm going to do is lastly is just check the pH and add my preservative, and then that should complete this part. And I'm gonna show, and then I'm gonna bottle it. Add 1 gram of preservative. This is Preservative Eco. pH is quite low, it's around 4.4. So I'm gonna add some buffer to raise it. Added 0.25 grams of L-arginine. So this is a pH buffer. If you don't have L-arginine, you can use 10% sodium hydroxide solution. If you want me to show that, let me know in the comments how to prepare a pH solution. So now it's gonna a little bit above 5.5, 5.9, but it's okay, it's tolerable. So I'm gonna put this around now, and I'm gonna move on to the second one, where I'm gonna use without an emulsifier, and I'm gonna use a gum that actually allows me to do this adding oil without using an emulsifier. So let me show you the second one. Okay, so this is the second version, and you can see the formula on the screen. Here the only difference that we're gonna have, I'm gonna use this gum called Solagum Ax. So Solagum Ax is actually quite versatile gum. It's actually Xanthan Gun that is coated coated with acacia senegal gum. So as you can see on the screen, it has a really good like sensor feeling, but it doesn't have that much hard thickening that Xanthan Gun does. So you can actually add quite high amount and still get very fluid, not very thick products, or not very thick texture. And another good thing about Solagum Ax is also it's natural and it's quite sustainable. On top of that, it allows you to add 15%, up to 15% oil in the formula. So as you can see on the leaflet PDF, you can see all the details over there. Solagum Ax is widely available. You can get it in the US, you can get it in Europe and in Asia as well. So and it's also natural. So I'm going to use this Solagum Ax as the sort of like thickener and emulsifier, everything in one together, and it's still going to give us very fluid texture. So let's start with adding Solagum Ax 1 gram, 5 gram of glycerin, ethyl ascorbic acid. I'm going to add 2 gram of caffeine. To add our lemon juice. So this is about lemon fruit water basically. So that's 20 gram. And then finally I'm going to add our green tea extract, which is 2 gram. I'm going to add 50 grams of water. So let's mix this now. As you can see, it's very liquidy. You can see it from here as well. Even though we added like 1%, which is quite high for a gum, it still doesn't really thicken up that much. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we can make everything in one pot. This is going to be cold formulation, everything in one pot. So now we can add the 10 grams of the Ascorbyl Tetraisopalmitate, which is the oil soluble, green coffee, which is 3 gram. So because Solagum Ax allows up to 15%, I'm adding just about that, not much. Vitamin E, 1 gram. Let's just mix it. Now you can see like oil droplets. You can see like oil droplets is, it looks very messy. So let me just add my homogenizer. A nice milky, slightly thick, watery serum, like as you can see from here as well. And you can see them next to each other here. Very similar. Over this is a little bit more watery, but it's creamy. Where this one is still watery, but it's kind of more gel, like slightly gel texture. So you have one with the, without the emulsifier, one with an emulsifier. Oh, before we finish this off, I'm just going to add the preservative here and then we can finish this off. So let's add our 1 gram preservative. Quite low, it's actually 3.7, which is very low. So probably the preservative makes it very acidic. Also, ascorbic acid is also acidic. So we're just going to raise the pH again. Added the arginine and now it's 5.6, so it's all good. Just show you how they, let me just fill them up and let me show you how they look. I got them both here. They look very similar, even though one has an emulsifier, one doesn't have it. So let's just show you the textures. Smooth serum, as you can see. It's very fluid. And as you can see, there's no soaping, it just disappears. This is the non-emulsifier one. This is the one with Solagum Ax. It's very watery feeling. Let me show you on my face as well. As you can see, there's glides very easy. There's no tackiness, but it's very watery feeling. If you like that kind of, still smooth but it's watery feeling. Okay, so let's try. This is the other one. And let me show you on my hand. And it's also quite runny, very similar in texture. This is more creamier. This is also very creamy. It's also, has more cushiony feeling to it. So it really depends. They're very similar. So it's really how you want to do it. So I'm just showing you these two versions. so that you can apply it, you know, the way you like it. Both Solagum Ax and Emulsifier Imwitor 375 is easily accessible. I will put it's very nice. So and it's easily absorbed. It's gonna dry out now. So both of them are easily acceptable, and you can get them. I'll put the links in the description. So now let me show you how to amend it for both formulas. Obviously this is 15% vitamin C and the caffeine, right? So those are you not want to change them. Imwitor 1, which is one with the emulsifier, you can use any sort of other emulsifiers, 1 to 3%. Because you want to keep everything quite liquidy, you don't want to have too much emulsifier. So 1 to 3% emulsifier is okay. Again, you don't want to put too much gum, so you can put it 0.1 to 0.3. It depends what kind of gum you're adding. But if you're adding xanthan gum especially, don't go quite high. So 0.1 to 0.3, 0.4 maximum is the xanthan gum if you want to add it. So you have, and if you want to add other extracts, you can add it. So between 3 to 5% extracts, you can add these. So that's the structure. So the emulsifier one gives you the flexibility of adding more oils if you wanted to. So for example, you can add up to 30% of oil in the emulsifier one and it will emulsify it. So that's the beauty of it has more flexibility. So if you like using more oils, like beneficial oils, like such as jojoba or grapeseed or anything like that, it gives you that amendment. So I'm just going to show you on the screen a couple of new formula types that you can do with the emulsifier one. So with the Solagum Ax, it also gives you that flexibility. As I mentioned, it emulsifies up to 15%. If you want to amend any part of the formula, obviously you're using Solagum Ax and you're not using anything else. So it's up to 1%, use Solagum Ax. You can add glycerine or other sort of humectant. Then you have 2 to 5% extracts. You have 5% vitamin C, and you have so if you don't want to use, say for example, 10% vitamin C of oil version, and if you want to add other water soluble vitamins into it, you can. So, but my caution here is that vitamin C's tend to be very unstable. So if you're just going to add Ascorbic acid, for example, you need to make sure it's destabilized. So you need to add sort of like a chelating agent. A chelating agent is basically it's if there's ions, metal ions, it's like metal molecules in the ions in the water. It kind of destabilizes the vitamin C molecules. So adding chelating agents, it helps it going discoloration or sort of like any destabilization. It helps destabilizing. But ascorbic acid, it will destabilize. So that's why we're using this kind of vitamin C, so that it doesn't destabilize and it doesn't degrade like easily. These are stable versions. Other stable versions of vitamin C, you get magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, which is known as MAP, and you got sodium ascorbyl phosphate, is also called SAP. So you have other versions, and the cheapest one obviously is ascorbic acid, but it's destabilized, degrades very quickly. In the Solagum version, I'm putting some kind of what you can do with the ranges of the formulas that you can amend, and then if you want to change that part, if you want to. But you can add other extracts, you can add other actives. So you can, for the active persons, like the caffeine for example, you can add 2 to 3% of other actives, you can. And yeah, so this is how you amend anyway. I hope you like the formulation of this. It's a little bit long video, sorry about that, but I have to explain all this. I hope you liked the video and the formulation. If you have any questions, leave me in the comments. And my next video is going to be about actually how to formulate all kinds of format the serum. So I'm gonna give you the structure of how to do just a water serum, just oil serum, and then combination of the three. So just for you to understand how to do them if you are interested in just serums. And then from there on, I'm planning to do basic balms and go back to formulation 101 series again. So that's the plans for the next videos. I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments. Until then, see you later. Take care. Bye.